night. Big city rock song, get me rocking all night long. At the banquet just got paid, at the bars now we got it made. Big city rock song, keep 'em coming all night long. Great liquor karaoke bars, drag shows on the neon stars.
Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. It is showtime, ladies and gentlemen. With me is...
Yo, what's up, old man fam? Philbilly330 here, back again once again into some Borderlands 3. We are continuing our journey in Necro DeFeo, heading for the footsteps of the giants.
We're going after General Trant.
Yep.
The Trant's brother. Trant 2. Boom, 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 boom. So we ended the show last week by talking about what we should do for our next 330 project. And by 330, what we mean is basically we don't necessarily have any sort of like trick or gimmick to the show. We're just doing like a play through it, hang out, bullshit sort of thing. And we wanted to ask you guys what you thought we should play. And of course, since we're batch recording, I do not have the results of that. But we can talk about it. What do you want to play there, Phil?
I don't know, man. It's a toughie. Oh, no.
Are you down?
Yeah. Help? I just need to get close enough to something to kill it.
Now. Oh, I got another second wind. Where are you?
No, I died.
I can't. You're respawning. Crud.
That's alright. I died way far away. I actually killed myself.
Well, we're starting. This show will start up in September. So, I mean, it's going to be as a season. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know if we're going to do any side quests or not, or if we're going to need to, or if we're just going to, like, go through this one, you know?
Yeah, we may not.
So
I doubt we'll do a ton on Necro DeFeo. There's not, like, I don't know.
There's just not a ton. There's not a ton of reason to either. Like, we only ever did that to get us to
end game levels, yeah.
Impossible. Yeah. So, like, I don't know that we really need to. That being said, I have no idea how long this season is going to be. It could be 6 episodes. It could be 9. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't remember the Necro DeFeo stuff being very long if you just go through it.
No, it's not super long.
So with that being said, I would expect this season to be relatively small. That means we'll probably get through maybe October with it.
Yeah.
And then so unfortunately, unless Outriders means Halloween when they say holiday 2020, I don't think Outriders or Godfall will be out yet.
Yeah, probably
as much
not.
as I want to play those.
Oh, I'm so pumped for Outriders. I'm pumped for them both, man. But
I'm most excited for Outriders. Godfall does not excite me as much as Outriders. There's a lot of things that I've seen in Godfall that make me a little bit worried that I'm not going to enjoy it as much as other people do. Also, I'm really sick of some of them, and I think it just comes from people kind of looking at game as service wording as just like bad words, basically, so they avoid it at all costs. But like, there's some mixed messaging on that one, in my opinion.
The thing that looks cool
to the mixed messaging in Outriders. Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing that looks cool about
where are we supposed to be going?
We gotta go back down here and then go in another way.
Oh, okay.
The thing that looks cool to me about Godfall is the fact that it's like a looter shooter without the shooter.
Yeah.
It's like a looter slasher, like, which is kind of new, right?
It depends. that because there have been a lot of looter slashers, but they've been very like isometric dungeon crawl sort of situations, you know?
Yeah.
Like Torchlight and Diablo and stuff like that are looter slashers. That's what they are. I think that the 3D version of this looks very interesting to me. With that being said, Taco Bear! Over here! Yeah, there it is. Full release. But yeah, this looks very intriguing to me. Like,
well,
because I don't think there's been like
and love or hate
a hacker slasher looter.
Love or hate Gearbox,
3D and AAA.
They know how to do loot, you know.
This is true. Their loot is always good, whether they disseminate it in a proper order. Their loot itself is always fun. But yeah, I personally I'm a little bit more excited for Outriders.
Me
just
too.
from everything I've seen about it.
I feel like Outriders could be
haven't-
a Borderlands. Like, as I might put as much time into that game as I do into Borderlands.
And every time me or anybody else can come up with like a problem with Outriders, like they have one of their like little Outriders broadcasts, and they immediately do something that's like, oh, and if you thought this was shitty, and then they show you something awesome about it, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that game. Like, I think Neil had said like he didn't really see a lot of story elements here, and he was a little bit worried about that. And then they showed their last broadcast was all about how the story elements are akin to Mass Effect, which is one of the best story player narratives there is out there. So
yeah, they've been doing a really good job with that, like covering that game. The developers have.
Yeah. I'm very intrigued to see how it goes. And hopefully Square Enix, like, People Can Fly is behind that one, so
yeah, it's
we'll see what happens, but I hope Square Enix kind of learns from their mistakes on Avengers so far.
I'm hoping with the People Can Fly being involved that it actually feels more like the double A game more so than a triple A game. I'm hoping. Because I tend to like the double A. They're not too big for their britches yet.
Yeah, lately I feel like AAA games are trying to do too much, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas they're not just sticking to what they're supposed to do, and because they're doing so much, it's kind of like they don't do anything really well.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you have that situation. Although I will say, now that I'm farther into Avengers, I am enjoying it a lot more. I'm probably going to do a follow-up review on it just because I wasn't super happy with my first one.
Oh yeah.
Once I get through the story and actually get to do some of the games as service. Yeah, I wasn't happy that I wasn't able to do any of the games as service stuff before I did a review on it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I know they're Snap Judgment reviews, but like it's a big section that I just didn't even get to like play with, you know? And honestly, my review was covering more like the toxicity around the game and the situations that the game has created, you know? If you're smart. But the combat system is actually better than I had initially thought now that I've gotten deeper in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's still like a lack of severity, and there's too many health pods and a lack of consequence, but it's a little bit more intricate. I have died repeatedly at certain parts, so there is something to it. It's not just like I can press the same button through the whole thing.
Well, that's good.
It could be better. Not saying it's not, but and there's something else that I really found out today that I really hate about it.
What's that?
Well, like, it's something everybody else already knew, but I was kind of hoping it wasn't as bad as it was, but the sameness of the bad guys. I think the biggest problem facing that game is the sameness of your enemy typing.
Yeah, I've heard that from others.
And just the nondescript facelessness. And, like, what bothered me about it is the ease that they could have made, like, cooler enemy types was nothing. It was nothing to it. Like, they could have just reskinned their enemy types and I would have been happier with it than I was. But they actually made this, like, they built this thing in. This is kind of a minor spoiler to anybody out there, but they basically built this mechanic in where all the extra people who got powers, you know, that I thought might turn up as bad guys, actually they all turn out to be good guys, and the bad guys are stealing their powers and putting them into faceless robots.
Oh.
So, like, you know what I mean? You can't even humanize the bad guys at that point. You're just, like, fighting more faceless robots. And that's my biggest problem with the game right there. Like, my imagination can't even take over at that point, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear ya.
Like, even if it was just, like, faceless, superpowered bad guys, I could still in my head be like, oh, this is a supervillain, you know what I mean? But I can't do that with just mindless robots, you know? It's just very frustrating.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, that's my biggest problem with that game right now. Everything else I've kind of like, it's either like, or it's better than I thought it was, but still kind of But, like, that is my biggest issue, without a doubt.
Yeah, I was originally just hoping that game was going to be this feel for me, and I just don't think it's quite that.
No, I don't think so. I at least don't think so now. I do think maybe you should try it in, like, 6 months to a year.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm definitely going to watch it and see what they do with it.
I think that, like I said, and I actually said it in my review that you could see the gem of a combat system. I actually can see it a little bit better now that I've played it more, but there is something to the combat. They just need to balance it better, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there are counters, there is a rhythm to it. It just needs to be balanced better. And the animations need to be better. The biggest problem is, like, you can't tell when you're countering or dodging, because the animations are kind of poor on that level, and that messes up your rhythm, basically.
Come over here, you stupid wraith.
I hate flying bad guys. I hate flying bad guys. No, no. So, I do want to point out to everybody, you have stepped outside your comfort zone and started playing Wasteland 3, which is not a Philbilly game at all.
No, I'm actually enjoying it.
Why don't you share your experience with that one?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's got this huge, like, it's all about builds. And there's a lot of, it's RPG, so, I mean, there's a lot of, like, story and choices. To be honest, it feels like, so I play with Zach, actually, and a couple other buddies.
Yeah.
We play tabletop games sometimes, and it feels like me playing a tabletop game.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
I think that's one of the...
Since we do, like, little not rants, but, we talk about random shit on this show. You know what?
Yeah,
I've realized, and it's always bothered me, even in games we play. You know, since the beginning of time, what tabletop games have been doing that I think they do wrong, and I don't know what the fix is, but so you know how in all tabletop games you have a charisma stat,
Right.
or something equivalent to charisma, which usually affects your leadership skills in some way, or how you talk to people and stuff like that.
Right. Communication skills, basically.
I think that is a poor stat in everything, and this is why. So, like,
No, I want to hear this.
I tend to build characters, at least for my first time through things, the way that I actually would be in if I was in those shoes.
Okay.
Well, in real life, I do not consider myself a charismatic person. I'm very blunt and to the point, right? And I'll tell people the way it is.
Fair.
And
I don't necessarily think that makes you less charismatic, but for the sake of the rant, I will not argue with you.
but I also don't feel that directly relates to how good of a leader you are. And I get that.
Right.
I get why they do it in games. Like, I don't, like I said, I don't know the solution to this. And this has been happening this way since Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. But while I consider myself not a charismatic person, I would say that I'm actually a good leader in life, just because here's Tron, and it's time for Iron Bear.
Oh no, it's time for Dagobert and the Tron. Dagobert and the Tron. That bitch is dead because of Dagobert. Dude, he died just because I got in the chair. He was so scared. He self-destructed. He was like, no, they've united. There's nothing I can do to stop them now.
But yeah, that's always been, I've realized that's always an issue I've had with that system of, because like when I think of charisma, I think of like how well you can bullshit people and talk to people, and I'm not good at that.
Right.
But I'm usually a leader in life.
There's a hunt over here, isn't there?
There might be.
I thought there was something over here. Maybe I'm wrong.
But I'm usually a leader in life if I'm good at something, just because. Nah, it's just a way back.
Yeah.
Just because I get good, and then I can lead people just based on my experience. And it's never because I schmooze them into following. It's because, you know what, I guess what I'm saying is there's different ways to lead. Like, you could be a good leader who's not a schmoozer.
Can I say that I think there is a system out there that handles it decently? And that would be Savage Worlds. Because while leadership as a skill is tied to like a stat, I can't remember which stat, whether it's charisma or intelligence or whatever, you can still, the roles are based on the skill. So you can have a good skill, and while the skill itself costs a little bit more, you know, to buy over the stat.
Yeah, you're right.
You can still like have it above.
They do the best job of it.
And that to me is kind of the detriment of not having that. You know, okay, you got to spend a little bit more, but you can still be a good leader. You know.
Yeah.
But I see where you're coming from. Honestly, there's a lot of stats and skills like that in tabletop games that they kind of simplify to make easier, I think, and there isn't really a fix, but at the same time, like intelligence goes into a fight.
I was just going to say intelligence is one of them too.
Right, like I could bump my intelligence and not my strength, and I'm going to lose every fight. That in real life, that's not necessarily how it would go down, you know?
Well, yeah, especially when you're not just talking about brute strengthing your way through, you're talking tactics. Right. And there's always that whole thing where there's definitely a difference between being book smart and being street smart and stuff like that.
Right. So there's I think there's any time though that you're trying to simulate real life with statistics, it's going to be rough because nothing's ever going to be
Oh yeah, like I said, it's not really a complaint or they need to fix this because it's a hard thing to fix. They do the best they can.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah, it's just something I've noticed that's always kind of irked me a little bit in any tabletop game or RPG.
Right. I agree.
Because charisma can just be defined in so many things. You could be a charismatic person. Well, you can use different things to equal charisma. I could instill fear in you and be a leader. I could lead through fear, even,
Right, you could. Yes, exactly. Through intimidation. Yeah, exactly.
Or just
I think
respect
tricky.
Earned through fear, I guess. You know what I mean?
Hold up. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. All right, well, this has been RPG Talk. But that's our second episode. We're at 21 minutes there, Phil. But nice slide into my camera view. That made my day. All right, you guys can check us out on Facebook at Old Man Gaming DH. You can check us out on Twitter at Old Man Gaming 9. You can join our Discord. The link is in the description below. You can influence this and all of our shows from there. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. If you enjoy us, tell your friends about us. We want to up that subscriber count. Yeah. And as long as you guys keep watching and listening, we will keep making them regardless.
Yep.
See you guys next week.
Just slide on in. Later, old man fam.
I totally got that.